99X in the Morning X. It's Barnes and Leslie. Fram, can you feel the love in the air?
Happy Valentine's Day, Barnes.
Happy Valentine's Day. And we have real-life matchmakers in the studio. Say hi to Jennifer Miotke from One on One. Hey, how are you?
Jessica.
Super good. Thank you.
Do you have to get a certificate to be a matchmaker?
Yeah, it's like a 10-year course.
No way.
In Oxford. No, nothing.
I was believing her.
No. I mean, they do have something called the Matchmaking Institute, and they made up a course, but it's really just sort of BS, right? Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Well, you can say that. One-on-one matchmaking has been in Atlanta how many years?
We've had a dating service in Atlanta for 25 years.
That's impressive.
Wow.
I mean, the longevity just to keep it going. What's your success rate? Like how many that come to you? Or do you even track that? Do you track by numbers?
Not totally. Everybody thinks we do, but, sometimes we get people that have never had sex. If they have sex, that's a success, right?
So that's your metric?
No.
Boom.
Well, I mean, and some people get married. Some people don't want to get married. That's a hard question to ask, but everybody asks that. We track our success based on whether or not they want to go on a second date. And I would say that 80% of the time, our clients want to go on a second date.
That's interesting.
Wow,
So that's how we track it.
Pretty high.
They may fumble the ball from there, and that's not my fault.
Jessica, I want to know how you personally got into this. How did you get into being a matchmaker?
Well, when I was 24 years old, I moved to the big city because I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. And I live with my brother, and I work for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. I work with these little old ladies in Tucker. And my brother would say, you can't date any of my friends. My sister's wearing a Just Say No shirt. She has a hex across her chest. Don't even talk to my sister. So Creative Loafing, because I'm that old, I guess, had an ad for a dating service. And I remember going through the Sonic drive-thru and being like, I'm going to do this. I called my matchmaker in the Sonic drive-thru.
We have a bunch of people that listen that are single, and we know because we meet them out in the wild, or they, the comments they post in social media. How much harder is it dating, say, past 35 versus when you're in your 20s? Does it progressively get harder?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, in the wild, it's crazy. Well, because men like to date younger women, and nobody likes to date a girl that is sort of like talking about babies right away on the first date.
Oh, so you get that at that age, that's what the focal point is.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time they want kids. I would say what's changed since I've been there, and I've worked there almost 20 years, is that women, I'd say 25% of women over 35 say that they either don't want kids or they maybe want kids, which I think is a lie. They totally want
That's
kids.
a total
lie, right?
Maybe. Oh, maybe. And then once you get it locked in, then you're...
Oh, let's get pregnant next week. We don't even have to get married.
We're talking to Jennifer Miotke from One on One Matchmaking. Here's my situation. I have a lot of friends that are so successful in their careers, and I think they just intimidate men because of that. How do you solve that problem?
They love to say they intimidate men. I don't know that they do. I've never really once had a man say a woman intimidated him. I'm just saying it's something women like to say.
Aren't a lot of the women, though, super earners now? And it's more common to find women look at Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Right. I mean, what makes him a super earner? I don't know.
More than the guy.
Buckhead.
I mean, more than the guy. When I say super earner in their relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're a super earner. There's this book called Date-onomics, and it's talking about how women are graduating at much higher rates than men, and they're out earning them. So, yeah, I mean, in that way, they're super earners. And, yeah, they do, I would say 30% of the time the women out earn the men, and they still expect the guy to pick up the check, which is getting weird.
That is strange.
So how do you find someone, though, again, I'm going to go back to a couple of friends of mine who are very established in their career. They're over the dating apps. How do you matchmake someone like that who, again, successful in their career, make a lot of money, don't really need someone to support them?
Yeah, I mean, those are my clients. I mean, the main thing is I try to get them back to being fun because, telling men that they're intimidated by you is not fun. And talking about your job is not fun.
Right, Fran, what you're saying, it's like that urgency, right? Jennifer, it's the urgency that some of these women could possibly put off because of their position.
Yeah, maybe, but they have that serious vibe about life. They're super type A, they're super alpha. When they go on a date, there's an agenda. and they're not getting a good buzz and flirting like one should. That's the responsible thing to do.
You ever have any like really freaky situations happen?
Yeah, freaks. Love them. Yeah, every day.
Like how do you hear back about them? But I want to hear one. Like what's something weird that has happened with whatever, someone who went through your shop?
Yeah.
Because you can't control these people's freak on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I try to.
But that's your goal,
yeah,
right?
I mean, it's like, hey, loosen up. We hope you find love and sex, right? Like they just need to. Definitely, we joke in the office if they don't find love, hopefully they'll at least get laid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really disappointing if nothing happens.
Well, yeah, nothing
Which is
happens.
terrible.
But is that really a good thing, though, for them to get action, like, on night one?
No, it's not. But I want them to have a good time. You know what I mean? The main thing is if they're there and they're going on dates and it's miserable for them, I want to shake that up and them to enjoy the experience more.
So, Jennifer, you said when you got into this, you used a dating service. So what happened after that? Was it successful for you?
Yeah, I've always been successful. Dudes love me.
Are you married?
Yes, totally married.
How long?
Like 12 years.
And you met...
And did you, yeah.
Yeah, I paid for him.
You honestly met him through the service?
Not through this service.
Oh, no. So you're a believer all the way.
I'm a believer. Yeah, I drink
She's
the
a
Kool-Aid
success rate,
every
Barnes.
day.
Right now, as hard as it is dating, what are the trends now for like the 35 plus? Because we talked about the urgency with some people who are like, oh, time is running out. So what are the things that you're seeing people in that age demo are doing now?
So, I mean, the main thing that we talk about a lot, unfortunately, is whether or not to pay for dates.
Oh, that came up.
That did come up recently. Someone was not happy about that.
Yeah, they get so mad, like they've been slapped in the face. Even if they make $250,000 or more, they're like,
why?
I don't know. They're just so angry about it.
Because one of the trends I'm seeing on like TikTok are people filming their breakups or filming first dates, and they're filming all the way through and then putting together these compilations of where women were complaining, one of them I saw, about having to pay. Like, I can't believe you're not paying.
I cannot believe it. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah, we get it all the time. I think it's like, I think the thing is women are making a lot of money and sometimes out earning men, and they need to move with the times. That if they don't want a man to treat them, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a princess?
No, if they don't want the man to sort of control them, expect them to cook dinner, this patriarchal situation in a date, they probably need to start out on equal footing. But they're sort of like, you lead, but I will never cook dinner. I mean, it's silly. Pick a lane,
So you think you should split the check on a first date?
Well, this is the problem. My feelings are a little bit complicated because I'm 47 and... but I think if I were, if the guy let me split the check, I noticed it. Now, however, I would definitely go out with him again. And back in the day, I would offer to split the check for sure if I didn't like him. Even if he let me get it, if I really liked him, I would go out with him again. And that was 20 years ago or 17 years ago. I definitely think that women that make over $150,000 today, they need to expect to pay for the date. And they need to...
Their part or the whole thing?
Their part, of course.
Yeah.
Their part, of course. And I think that as much as you would expect the guy to hold the door open for you at a restaurant or get your car door, that's how they need to think of paying for the date. It is a nice gesture, but not to be expected, because you can get your own door and you can get your own check. And you do all the time with your girlfriends.
What's the mindset of like people in their 40s and 50s that are going through divorce or who went through divorce and jumping back into the dating pool? It's got to be a completely different one than their first time around. What's that vibe?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they're toddlers again. They're like, Jennifer, what should I wear to the date? And I'm like, I don't know. Did you Google the restaurant? I mean, do you go out?
Well, they haven't been in the dating pool for a while,
so
I completely understand that.
They're helpless.
They're helpless. Like, what do I do on the date? When do I kiss her? Does she like me?
Really?
Yeah, they're way easier. I mean, in some ways, they're way easier if they've done some online dating than like a 37-year-old who's never been married. Ugh, God, those girls are very hard.
You should start like a frequently asked questions for people that are getting back into the dating pool.
Well, what about people who maybe they just got divorced and there was infidelity in the marriage? I would think that you setting that person up with someone, whoever, that's putting that other person in a really not awkward spot, but a very sensitive one.
Well, yeah.
Like, so how do you handle that? Like, do you give the person a heads up? Because you're dropping a whole bunch of emotional baggage onto whoever you're connecting them with.
Yeah, I mean, I say don't complain about your ex. I had a woman in there last week that, she'd been divorced 5 years, and she was just really still complaining about her ex. And I said, listen, if you talk about your ex on the date, I'm going to hear about it. And she's like, I'm over him. And then she ranted for 2 minutes. And I was like, I mean, they always say that they won't do it on the date. They just do it to me. And I'm like, right, I know.
And do they come back and complain afterwards to you? Like some of these dates that just, if the littlest thing goes wrong, is that what you're dealing with all day?
Yes. I mean, especially the split check. It is like the woman has been physically abused.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, and some girls, I remember one time I had a girl saying that the guy didn't stand up when she went to the bathroom, and I was like, "Yo's queen." I mean, they really
Beyonce.
Yeah, they want them to stand up, walk on the right side of the street, tip the valet, pay for their dinner. I mean, just like all the stops. But then, I mean, if I'm honest with you, men need to understand that women still find it chivalrous that the guy would pay, and when the guys act clueless about that and he really likes the girl and he splits the tab, that's a problem too. I mean, we didn't say it was a fair world.
We're talking to Jennifer Miotke. Of course, it's Valentine's Day, so we have a matchmaker on from One-on-One Matchmaking. Jennifer, I kind of disagree with you on a few things. I don't think there's anything wrong for the guy opening the door, paying the check, doing all those things. I mean, I think a lot of women, it makes them feel special.
Yeah, I mean, I think they ought to do it too, okay? I really like that also, but to expect it is too much. It's kind of like if you got your friend a drink and you absolutely expected her to get the second round and you held it against her for the rest of the night that you got 2 rounds in a row. You know what I mean? You just need to let it go and move on, right? It's a nice gesture, but people aren't perfect. Guys don't understand the situation. They don't understand that the woman who's so alpha and definitely wants an equal and pointed out that she would never cook and would not want to stay at home with the kids would be personally offended if she didn't split the check. I mean, he's a little confused about that.
Leslie, do you ever pick up the check when you and Lanny go out to eat?
Oh, we've been married for 20 plus years, Barnes.
I know,
yeah, absolutely. But I don't think look, I think whatever this pattern is when you're going out on a date is setting you up for future patterns. So
absolutely.
If you're okay that the guy is not opening the door and doing all these things, and cool. I'm just saying I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But setting that standard out at the outset, like these women you're talking about who are demanding
it's disrespect. They're not demanding it.
Well, she's just saying that they are. She's saying that's their number one complaint.
Yeah. They're totally offended.
Then that's not the person for them, is what I'm saying.
I guess, but like times are changing and they don't want to be a traditional woman.
And so that is going to keep putting the pressure on as they get older.
Totally.
And they're still wondering why they're not getting people to attach to them.
Yeah.
And that could be part of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're expecting the guy to hold the door for you, get the check, pull out all the stops, be a perfect gentleman, he's going to expect you to cook dinner. And do you want to cook dinner? I don't think so.
Well, this dating is complicated stuff.
I know. But we could tell some, real love stories. In fact, I could tell a love story about a girl paying for a check if that will make it better.
For 60 seconds.
60 seconds. Okay. So I had this girl, her name's Jackie. She married through us. And she went on 3 dates. She dated the first guy right out the gates for a little while. It didn't work out. She also had a good date with Cameron. And so when it ended with the first guy, she decided to call the other guy back that she liked. And she called him and he said, all right, I'll let you take me out. I'll let you take me out to pizza. So most girls would have been like, let me take you out. But she was like, all right, cool, I'll take you to pizza. She took him to pizza. She bought the pizza. They're married today, and they bought a house in Roswell that they put 50-50 down on. So I'm just saying the slice of pizza made it all worth it that, Jackie paid for $20. I guess she could have been like, what a cheapskate. I hate him, but she got over it.
Well, I'm going to have to listen to y'all's podcast. What's it called?
It's called Deep Dive into Dating. Deep Dive.
Deep Dive. All right. One-on-one matchmaking is in Atlanta. Thanks for coming in, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is speed dating back, by the way?
Speed dating is another company.
But I mean, it's a thing, though. I'm seeing it pop up everywhere again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing.
So, I mean, people are doing that as a mechanism. I'm not talking about a company, but as a mechanism. Is that I didn't know it was a company.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a company. Maybe it's done 2 or 3 different ways by different companies, but it's not a company based out of Atlanta.
Got it. But do you all do that type of thing?
We don't do that. And I did speed dating, and I love doing all the things when it came to dating, and I did not like this.
Well, speed dating is good unless then it comes down to the sex and not so much, right?
Right. Well, I mean, it's just making you talk to everybody that you necessarily wouldn't talk to at a bar, and that sucks with the bell.
All right, well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. This was fun.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. 99X.